What is up, my Lorcana goons? My name is Kevin and welcome to the Lorcana Goons channel, and we're gonna go over some Lorcana stuff today. So in the last couple days, Lorcana has been revealing a bunch of cards from chapter 2. Specifically though, last night the French Lorcana Discord revealed, I think it's 5 cards in their Discord, and we got the English translations. We've been seeing them pop up since yesterday, so let's just go over some of these real quick. The first one we got is Merlin the Goat. Yes, Merlin, the actual goat. It is a 4 ink character, 4 strength, 3 willpower, with the effect that says, "Here I come." When you play this character and when he leaves play, gain 1 lore. Gain 1 lore, guys. That's kind of wild, I think. If you have been keeping up with some of the other Merlin cards, you know that they all have the ability to kind of do an extra effect when they come into play and when they leave play. The rabbit lets you draw. The new crab that also got revealed, that one gives your character's challenger +3 when he comes into play and when he leaves play. And then the squirrel has a similar effect to Yzma that lets you look at the top card of your deck and put it to the bottom when you come into play, when he leaves play. So going off of that same kind of synergy, that same play style that already Merlin has, in order to utilize that effect of the actual Merlin, which basically gives it a lore every time you make a card go back to your hand, right? And you can also combine this with the new Madam Mim card that was revealed yesterday, Madam Mim Snake. A 2 ink character, got 3 willpower, 3 strength, and it says, when you play this character, banish her or return another chosen character of yours to your hand. So very similar to the other Madam Mim card we saw, the fox, right? Where when you play her, you have to either banish her or return a different character to your hand. It's a very beefy card, but it has that stipulation, so you gotta think of some cool combos with that. But you got to be able to pay the price when you play a card like this. But we won't take too much time on that. We'll go on to the next card. This one was revealed yesterday, but it was revealed in French, I believe. And we have the English translation. It is Lady Germain. It is a ruby card, a 2 ink uninkable, 2 strength, 2 willpower, overbearing matriarch, and it has an ability that says, when you play this character, each opponent with more lore than you loses 1 lore. So it's a card that you can use for multiplayer, obviously, because it says each opponent, so when you play it, it'll make everybody lose 1. Very similar to Aladdin Street Rat. Biggest difference is obviously that Aladdin Street Rat is a 3 ink inkable card, where Lady Germain is a 2 ink uninkable card. Another thing too about it is that this is a villain, whereas Aladdin is not a villain. So this does land in the villain category, so you can have synergy with some of the villains, like if you're playing Hades or something. So that's kind of interesting. We won't take too much time on that one because nothing too crazy, right? But this one is kind of cool. We have a 4 ink blue Hans. It's a Prince Charming, heir to the throne, Dreamborn hero prince. So it's a 4 ink, 3 strength, 3 willpower for 3 lore. You guys tell me, does Sapphire need this card? What's he holding in his hand? Is it a Dorito, like the way Citizens of Lorcana is depicting it? Shout out to Citizens of Lorcana. I think it's a neat card. It looks like we are starting to get some cards for different colors that are very kind of similar to current cards we have for current colors. Maybe we will get a blue colored Lilo type character, right? So that's very interesting. And it is a prince, so it will have synergy with this next card, I believe. Yes, we have Grand Duke, Advisor to the King. He is a 2 ink inkable character, 2 strength, 2 willpower, and he has an ability that says, yes, your majesty. Your prince, princess, king, and queen characters all gain +1 strength. It synergizes with the Prince Charming. I guess Prince Charming is a little bit better than Hans right there if you do want to play, I guess, a Sapphire Amber kind of deck. So that is one of the reveals right here. It's some Amber support for your princesses. If you have a prince, princess, king deck that you've been working on, Grand Duke is going to help you out there. Now we're going to go on to the bread and butter, the biscuits, the spice, the goo, as they say. So we have a super rare Amethyst Arthur Wizard's Apprentice. It's a Dreamborn hero sorcerer. It has 3 willpower, 1 strength. It's a 3 ink uninkable with only 1 lore, but it says, student, when this card quests, you may return another chosen character of yours to your hand to gain 2 lore. So it's almost like a Merlin effect. It's very similar, where it gains lore depending on if a card goes to your hand, right? So it has that same type of theme in the deck, where you're bouncing stuff from field to hand and taking advantage of that. The main difference is that Arthur is 3 ink, so you can play him earlier, and he gains 2 lore. but you have to actually quest with him in order to use that ability. So you quest, you gain 1 lore, you can choose to bounce a character to your hand, maybe a Madam Mim, maybe a Merlin, right? And then you gain 2 lore, so you would quest for 3 at that point. Wow, that's crazy. If you do choose to do that, you'll, instead of questing for 1 lore, you'll quest for 3. And if you're returning Merlin to your hand, you're not only questing for 3, but you're gaining the advantage of playing Merlins. Like if you bounce back the Rabbit Merlin, then you'll draw a card. If you bounce back the Squirrel Merlin, then you can ink it that turn probably, and then you could even use the effect before you ink it to look at the top card of your deck, right? If you bounce back the Crab Merlin, then you can give a different character Challenger +3. You could give Arthur Challenger +3, but he won't be able to attack because he's already quested. But if you can ready him back with something, then he has Challenger +3. That's kind of nice, right? So we are seeing the Merlin synergy come into play with these cards. And then this is the last card. This is probably the card that everyone's talking about. Prince John, greediest of all. He is an emerald card, and a rare, by the way. 3 ink, uninkable. He has 1 strength, 2 willpower only, but he has ward. So if you don't know what ward does, opponents can't choose this character except challenge. His ability is, I sentence you. Whenever your opponent discards 1 or more cards, you may draw a card for each card discarded, and he quests for 2 lore. You read that right. This is a card that synergizes with some of the most craziest cards in the game right now currently. This synergizes with A Whole New World. This synergizes with You Have Forgotten Me, Sudden Chill, Bucky. All the cards that make your opponent feel bad for playing this game, this card capitalizes on. I don't know if this is gonna cause like an intense power creep or something, but I do think that this card is pretty good. We've already confirmed certain rulings with this card, where if you have it on field and I activate and then you play Whole New World, both players draw 7, and then the controller of this card can choose to draw cards per as many cards that were discarded from the opponent's Whole New World. So if I Whole New World you for 4 cards, I draw 7, and then I can draw 4 more if I control Prince John, right? That sounds a little outrageous to have at your disposal. Not only that, on turn 3 to turn 4, if I activate You Have Forgotten Me and you discard 2 cards, guess who's drawing 2 cards, buddy? Me. Did this card need ward? I don't know. This is a little crazy. You know what I mean? But it does play into Grab Your Swords. However, I just don't see this card really being a bad card, right? So this is a hype card for sure. I'm very excited to see what people come up with now that these cards have been coming out. I'm very excited to see the prices of some of the cards this week now that some of these cards have been revealed. You guys let me know in the comments what you think about these cards. Let me know if you think they're good or bad, or which ones are gonna make a change in the meta, right? And let us know if you're excited for Chapter 2. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe to Lorcana Goons on all platforms. Check us out on Discord. The link is in the description below. We actually have some goons in the Discord already chopping it up and theory crafting with these cards. So become a goon and join the Discord, guys. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Remember, like, comment, subscribe to Lorcana Goons, and we will see you goons next time.